Let me lower this. I'm always the short guy. Always. I think I'm successful in that on every team and every level. So first off, I just want to thank everyone for being here. It's just an amazing opportunity to be here, just in the green land is what I call it, bleed green all day long, all life. So first off, I want to thank my wife and kids. My kids didn't get to obviously experience this like my wife and I did. We met when I was 15 years old. So high school sweethearts, been together for basically eternity. So, and hopefully it continues. Right, and then my mom, who's over there videoing, I wouldn't be here without her. My father wasn't able to make it because he passed away 8 years ago of prostate cancer, and he would probably be in the back sitting next to them with his hat backwards taking photos. My parents did not miss a game. I was very fortunate growing up. We didn't have a lot, but my parents did everything they could to put me in every sport possible until they found one that I was good at, I guess. It was jack of all trades, I guess, but it was just one that I was finally good at. But just very appreciative to be here. The Delta State community, I knew nothing about Delta State until probably 6 months before I came here. So I get a call from Coach Ostrander, who was pitching coach at the time, and calls me up. And obviously this is pre-cell phone days. He calls my house phone and he's like, "Hey, we'd like to have you come down for a visit." I didn't even know what that was. I had talked to Northwest about coming to play baseball, and that was really it. But so I came down to Delta State. 95 degrees outside. It's May basically. It's 95 degrees. The mosquitoes are crazy, even in the middle of the day. But it was Coach Ostrander. So it's me, Coach Ostrander, and Coach Kinnison. We're the only three people here, and I wish I could remember who the guy that caught me was on the day that I threw the bullpen. I really wish I could because I would really thank him. So I threw a bullpen. Coach Ostrander watches. I'm probably like 75 miles an hour off the mound. Who knows? And I throw, and Coach Ostrander tells me, "Hey, good job today. We'd like to tour the school." And I was not an academic guy. I did everything I could to find a way to play sports in college, and that was it, right? And Coach Kinnison, I'll tell you that story in a second. So we toured the school, not impressed, right? Because I didn't care about that, right? We did what I wanted to do. I'm ready to go home now, right? That part didn't mean anything before I met Coach Kinnison on that side. So, but I just want to thank Coach Ostrander before I move on. Coach Batts was obviously a volunteer assistant when I was here, and obviously the head coach now was a great hire in my opinion. I love it. But Coach Kinnison was probably, and still to this day, besides Tom Bergmeyer, who was a pitching coach that I had, they are at that same level. But at this point in my life, the most influential person I've ever met in my entire life. Coach Kinnison, please give him a round of applause. And so to start it, I can sit here and talk for hours, by the way. So to start it all, Coach Kinnison and I did not always see eye to eye. I spoke my mind too much. He speaks his mind a lot, and very hard-nosed, right? But it took me about 2 days, maybe 3, to figure out that this guy was going to get my head on straight. Because all it took was so when I first signed here, I signed as a dual position guy. I was supposed to be a hitter and a pitcher. Center fielder. I missed one hitting group. I wasn't very responsible, like I said, when I was coming out, so I missed my first hitting group, and I can see it. He walks by me on field B right now and goes, "You missed your hitting group, Dusty. Don't worry about it. It'll never happen again." And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not a hitter anymore. So if there was one mistake to have been made that I'm very proud of, that was it. Because obviously he knew in the back of his mind, he'll never admit it, but he knew I was a pitcher all along, right? I was the little short dude that could run a little bit, and I will say this, I will claim to fame, I had one at bat, and I did hit a home run. And I did come in the dugout and jump on him too, right? I was like, "You see what you've been missing for 3 years?" Right? So, but I'll never forget that because that was an amazing moment. But my time here was just amazing. So my first semester at Delta State, I made a 1.6 GPA. Right? Like I said, I did not care, right? And I will never forget that old locker room, right? That old locker room, I came in, and Coach Kinnison walked in, and it took about 4 seconds to figure out that, something was wrong, right? I did just good enough to be eligible to pitch that season, right? Thank God he had enough faith in me to not redshirt me, which he probably should, looking back, as bad as I did. So but at the end of the day, he didn't. I was one of 3 freshmen that year that did not redshirt. There were 7 other ones that did. So, but we had an amazing season. We went to the College World Series that year. I played a vital role. It was amazing to me. I did not think I was that good at baseball, right? I pitched in the first game of the season. We were somewhere in Louisiana, and it was like 12 degrees outside. And I pitched in the first game, and we got the win. I didn't think that big of a deal. I'm like, what is going on right now? Why am I playing? I'm 5'9". Why am I playing? So, and Eli Whiteside walks up to me, and Jason Miller, who were the 2 catchers. Really, Eli was the only one. He was the baller, right? And they're about this tall, Eli was, and he walks up and he goes, "Could be a really good season if you continue to pitch well." And I kid you not, I responded with, "Yes, sir." He was that intimidating. So I promise you I did. So, but moving on, I was able to fortunate enough to know, got to know a lot of people here. Steve's in front of me. Dan and I were roommates. His son was roommates with me for a semester. And just throughout the times here was just amazing. Changed my life. My wife, Coach Kennison, I would not replace it with anything ever. Coach Kennison changed everything for me. From integrity, from accountability. I missed 3 classes in 3 years. Right? I ended up graduating. When I left here early, I ended up going back to school, graduating with a bachelor's with a 3.2 GPA, eventually went back and got a master's in educational leadership, and striving to be maybe a principal, which I love to hear you say that, and possibly superintendent type stuff someday, like in the educational world. So just the values that he instilled in my mind of accountability and all that stuff. And there's just one last thing before I'm done. Not as many people thank her enough, but my wife was a Diamond Girl when she was here, and I don't think Miss Kennison gets enough credit as well. So please give her a round of applause. And thank you very much.